Hello everyone, I'm Chris Lee. And I want to talk to you about the I-140 form approval and the green card. I-140 is predominantly used when applying for employment-based immigration based on an EB-1, EB-2, or EB-3. And this form is completed, can be completed by the petitioner, but usually you have an attorney helping you fill that out, in which case you will sign and so will your attorney as the preparer. And this basically gives all the information about the individual who's applying for this benefit, personal information, as well as information regarding where you want the forms, where you want your forms to go, such as if there's a decision on it, does it go to you, does it go to your client? It's essentially information that is about you, the petitioner, or it could be about the petitioner and the beneficiary if you are being sponsored for your particular employment-based visa, okay? If it's an EB-2 NIW, it will be just about you because that is a self-petition. Otherwise, it will be about you, the petitioner, and both people will get a receipt notice which shows that it has been filed at USCIS, and that gives you a copy to let you know that when your priority date is, and so you can get information on how that particular form is being processed. So if you are doing an employment-based petition or benefit, that is the first process in which you are going on your adventure to obtaining a green card. So you must get an approval on the merits of that particular form and the supporting documentation you provide with it. Many people think, oh, is this all I fill out? Just this form and it gets submitted, and then they just look at the form and they do check, 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 and you get approved. No, actually, it is imperative that not only does the form get filled out, which basically is providing all of your essential information, but it's the supporting documentation that goes with that form that is so important to determining the merits of your EB benefit. Always go to the USCIS website because sometimes the form gets updated, and if you don't use the most up-to-date form, it will get denied and rejected before they even look at anything. If that form does not have the most up-to-date on the form itself, it will be rejected and returned to you. So always keep that in mind. Always go to USCIS for the most up-to-date form. The fee to USCIS for the form I-140 is $700 currently. And you can pay it through money order if you are an individual submitting it. If it is a company, such as a law firm, they can use their company checks. There is availability to use your credit card, but I am not comfortable using a credit card because if, for instance, you ended up spending a lot of money and when USCIS, makes that draw on the credit card and you're near your limit and it doesn't get approved, your entire process will be rejected and returned to you. So if you're going to do it on your own, please submit a money order. So this is interesting because it all depends where you are. Are you in the US or are you applying for outside the US? If you're outside the US, it has no bearing on whether you can travel because you have your national passport and then you can use that to travel as you wish. If you're in the US, it all depends on whether or not you've got travel authorization. If you have travel authorization, which is called advanced parole, yes, you can use that to travel outside the US and you will be able to re-enter without any issue. Many people get very excited when this is approved because it is exciting. The merits of your I-140 have been granted an approval by USCIS, meaning you're on the road to getting your green card and permanent resident status. But it is not a guarantee that you will get the green card because once it's approved, it goes to another department within USCIS where they will check and investigate your status in terms of since the day you arrived in the U.S. to the day you applied to see whether or not you've always maintained your legal status and whether there's any issues regarding illegal work or anything else that may be related to your stay here regarding any maybe tickets that are outstanding, any criminal background checks. Those are all conducted before the green card is issued. So it's exciting and it's wonderful that you've been approved. And then thereafter, hopefully, if everything's aligned, you may not even have to do an interview to get the green card. If everything checks out, the green cards will be mailed to you. Many of my clients are getting their green cards through the mail without having to do an interview for the green card. You want to always make certain that before you're applying, not only are you in status, but you have maintained your status so that there are no issues when you are being adjudicated for permanent residence to obtain the green card. So many people believe that when you get approved on your I-140, it's an automatic green card. And to a certain extent, you could say that, but that would not be true because there is a separate department that, again, investigates and processes the permanent resident status, which is not a step that you can take for granted. So you should always be aware of that. If you are applying from outside the U.S., you have to go to the consulate and have an interview so that the consulate can stamp your passports with the immigration visa for you and your derivative beneficiaries to be able to immigrate to the U.S. So that is relevant because the timing on that all goes to the timing of when you can get an appointment at the consulate. And so if you can just bear in mind, that's the consulate, meaning State Department. So Department of Homeland Security, which is in charge of USCIS, will take your approved file, transfer it to Department of State so that that department can transfer it to the consulate that is close to you in your home country, and they will schedule an interview. And so the timing of how quickly you can get to the green card in that process is determined by the appointment date and the timing that exists with all the interviews that must be scheduled in your home country and the U.S. consulate. If it is an adjustment of status where you're in the U.S. waiting for this green card, I've been amazed, to be honest with you, because some clients who were approved on their I-140 received their green cards in the mail in 2.5 to 3 months, which I think is amazing. So it used to be before anywhere from 3 to 8 months, but now some of these employment-based I-140 approvals and the green cards that get issued as a result of that approval are being delivered via the mail in about 2.5 to 6 months, which is amazing. This is a great process in the sense that USCIS is attempting to address the backlog and trying to get these green cards processed faster. If you're in a situation where you've had your interview or you've already been approved and the green card is taking much longer than that, then you should definitely consult with your attorney because there could be some missing files that you're not aware of. And so you want to get that addressed immediately so that it's not sitting in some office, not getting processed because there's a document missing. It's an exciting time because you know the merits of whatever it is that you're going to contribute to the U.S. has been approved by the U.S. government, and you're on way to getting a green card so all of your dreams can be fulfilled in our great country, the U.S. of A. So I thank you for this session where we learned about the Form I-140, its approval, and receiving the green card, and I hope you join me again. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again. Bye-bye.